The very first verse in Scripture, Genesis 1:1, says this: "In the beginning, God began to create." One of the most remarkable things about God is that God is this eternal creator who has never stopped creating worlds and life. We've seen that happen at Eden Street. Since the very beginning of our church, God has created worlds through this place. Our entire property is littered with memories of God creating worlds in and through us. Let me show you around. Week by week, God creates new worlds in our hearts and lives through the gift of worship, but not just in us. From this place, God has created worlds for other folks to find their way to be in communion with God and one another. Through the life of our church, we have launched churches like Wakefield United Methodist Church and Church on Morgan and Southeast Raleigh Table. Even within our own communion, there is The Gathering, which was launched out of the heart of this place with a desire to help create worlds for other folks to find their way into worship. Discipleship is another way that God has created worlds in our lives and in the world of Edenton Street. In classes just like this, Foundry Fellowship, week by week, people gather and they find friends and faith. They grow in their knowledge of God and also in their depth of relationship in this place. And this is just one example. We have hallways where children gather to find faith and friendship. Across the street in Bulla, our youth gather and they grow in their understanding of who God is and their connection to one another. And from these groups, other worlds are created through small groups and holy friendships that continue to replicate in and throughout the city. God continues to create worlds through our discipleship. Over the last 200 plus years of our church's life, we have watched God create almost innumerable worlds through our missional work together. Here in this place, we've watched God create things like Methodist Home for Children and the Green Chair Project. Our doorstep ministry continues to flourish to offer hope to folks who find their ways to our door. Even now, we're partnered with ministries like Learning Together, a preschool here in our space. Zoe Empowers, an international ministry that finds its home here. North Carolina Pastors for Children have also found a place here to do their missional work. World upon world being created by God. And that's just inside our walls. Outside of this place, we are partnered with over 20 missional partners where God continues to offer worlds of hope and flourishing. Our missional life together is one way we partner with God as God continues to create worlds of justice and peace and grace. Week by week, here at this place, the church tells that old story of God creating over and over again. First in the beginning, creating us out of the dust of the earth. Then in Jesus, creating for us resurrection. And in the end, God creating for us beloved community. That's what we remember here at this place. What happens here is that people bring their gifts, their offerings. And as they do, God takes those offerings and makes worlds from them. We want you to be a part of that work this year. For 2023, would you pray about how you might join this world-creating work of God through the life of Edenton Street? All through the month of October, we'll be centering on how God is doing that even in this very moment. You'll be hearing stories from many of your friends here in this place about the worlds God's creating through them. And then on the first Sunday of November, All Saints Sunday, we will bring our covenant to join with God in this world-creating work. Would you pray about how you might be a part of that in this upcoming year as we watch God do again what God has always done? Take our offerings, bless them, break them open until the world is blessed.